Oh, my God. Cespedes goes jumping into the stand. Is he crazy or what? Did he catch that? He didn't catch that, did he? Oh, the fan caught it. Oh, my God. What was Cespedes thinking? He dove like... Wait do you see this, folks, if you're driving home? Cespedes leaps into the... There was no chance here. Cespedes jumped about 5 rows into the stands, and now he can't get out of the stands. I mean, he had no chance for that ball. What was he doing? Now he can't get out of the stands. Cespedes, I mean, I give him credit. You talk about hustle. Cespedes goes into the stands deeper than I've ever seen anybody go in the stands in his life. My God, he's in the 4th row. Oh, my God. I've never seen anybody go that deep into the stands. Holy God. Did he have a chance for the ball? You know, if that guy didn't catch it, he might have been able to catch it. Boy, I'll tell you something. The next time somebody doesn't say Cespedes hustle, show him this tape. He didn't care about life or limb. He went 3 rows deep into the stands. Oh, he's walking around in the out. He's going back in. I mean, I hope they're cheering. Are they cheering at least for him? Mike in Floral Park. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, what's up?
Hey, Mike, you've asked Darling, Valentine, and Hernandez who they think is the best pitcher of the group, and they've all said Harvey. But you're so jealous of Harvey. You root against him.
How do I root against him? How do I root against him? First of all, I've always liked, if you've listened to this station, you've always,
somebody tells you
wait a second, you've always,
and you love Valentine.
Mike, first of all, I mean, first of all, Mike, you're not familiar with my relationship with Bobby V that well. But number two,
wait a minute, you love Bobby Valentine. You think he's the smartest baseball guy
I think he's
around.
a wonderful baseball guy. But here's the thing. Wait a second, Mike, here's the thing. He's absolutely, absolutely. But you know what? I've asked them who they thought would be the most productive of the pitchers. Every one of them has said Harvey. But the proof is not in their projections. The proof is in the pudding. And that means put it up. I never said it wouldn't be Harvey. I've always been a very big proponent of Harvey. Anybody who listens to the station knows that. You're fanatical about Harvey. Don't ever want to criticize him when he's wrong or when he's bad. That's the pride. You're a fan. I'm looking at it as someone who's analyzing it correctly and professionally. Right now, you can't look at Harvey and say he's doing well. I mean, to say that, it would be silly. If you want to look at Harvey for his first 2 performances this year, they are wanting in a very big way. They are way below anything he's shown us so far in his career. He needs to pick it up in a big way. Syndergaard's first 2 performances are overwhelming. Harvey's are very underwhelming, but they're only 2 performances.
They're playing basketball. We love that basketball.
Mike in Montclair, what's up, Mike?
Phil Jackson should finally...
Phil Jackson, an NBA thought. All right, go ahead.
More in particular, the Knicks. Well, I do have something to say about the NBA, actually. But he should do something finally right and just tell Carmelo to shut up and do what he is being paid to do.
Don't tell him anything. Just don't pay attention to him. You don't tell him anything.
And you know, this thing with resting, and you brought this up last week, and I thought about this for a long time because it drives me nuts. And it's an epidemic in the NBA. A star player, if he wants to rest, should never, ever be allowed to do it on the road, okay? If a guy wants to take a day off, he should only be allowed to do it at home. Because it's not fair.
First of all, the resting usually is not the players. It is.
Wait, Mike, don't tell me that the manager's telling LeBron James
it's often the coach.
Don't tell me when the coach is telling Carmelo when to rest. That's ridiculous.
Wait a second. You don't think... Well, let's take the guy who started the whole thing.
You're telling me Rambis is coaching for his life.
Mike,
is
let's
telling
start
Carmelo
the whole
to take
thing.
a rest?
I'm not talking about a bad team like Carmelo.
All right, how about LeBron?
Let's talk about the guy who started the whole thing, Mike. The guy who started the whole thing does not consult his players on any of it. That's Popovich. He's the one who started the whole thing. He's the one who does the whole thing. He's not going to do it at home. He's He's never going to do it to his home fans. He does it on the road all season. He's the one who does it. He's the guy who sits. I decided we're going to sit these 3 guys, these 2 guys, these 3 guys, this guy. He's the one who does it. He's the biggest culprit of all. It's the coach doing that. It's not the players sitting out. It's the coach doing that. Now, in the case of a LeBron James, it is LeBron James. He's calling all the shots. So we know he's calling the shots when he rests, obviously. He calls every shot. I'm not discussing LeBron James. But on a team which started the whole thing, or what you've seen from, say, the Clippers or from different teams, it's the coach who's doing it. It's not the player as much as it's the coach who's doing it. Now, the Carmelo thing, the only comical part of it last night, not was that he was sitting out, no one cared, is that the term used in parens was being rested. Being rested for what? They don't have a game for 6 months. It's comical. Carmelo being rested. If you're the Spurs, you are resting your players. If you are the Knicks, it's called we could care less. Ariel in Manhattan. What's up, Ariel?
Good, thanks. I was just, it just seemed like, you haven't been covering as much, previewing as much about the playoffs. Even
What
though
playoffs?
The NBA playoffs.
They didn't start yet.
I know, but they start this week. I just figured, there'd be, a lot, and you have the Golden State tonight.
The Golden State tonight means nothing. I mean, what is there to cover about Golden State tonight? They're playing a team that has no players. You think they're going to? They're a 20-point favorite tonight.
Big record.
What do you want me to say about the game? They're a 20-point favorite tonight. You think they're going to lose the game?
You don't think the game has historical?
They're a 20-point favorite, Ariel, against a team that has no players. Memphis has no players. What are they going to do? Memphis is going to lose the game by 30. So what do you want me to say about the game? I know it's going to happen. Golden State's going to win. We all know that. The game's it's not a game that's up for grabs.
And I guess to me also just seemed like like Ira was like throwing like a cold blanket, just like seemed like he wasn't, cold blanket over a lot of like interesting like
what
storylines. Like to me, like for example, like what the Mavericks have done to me is amazing, regardless of whether they'll make it through the playoffs or not. I don't think that's the main issue.
Well, wait a second. What good is it? What do you get in this league if you go into the playoffs and get swept in the first round?
But I think right now what's going on, I think if you evaluate Dallas just based on that right now, I think right now they're in the middle of a rebuilding process, but then you could also argue, so would you rather be the Philadelphia 76ers that tanks for 3 or 4 seasons? And
well, the 76ers are they're a very badly run organization. They have been in a state of flux for a very long time. But the idea of making the playoffs as an 8 seed to go out in the first round,
like for example, look at
the Knicks when they made the playoffs that year, and it was welcome to the playoffs with Isaiah, and they got blown out. I mean, that's worthless. It's worthless. Dallas being in the playoffs is such a worthless thing. They can say we made the playoffs again. Now, what Portland did, I thought was interesting. Charlotte, I think it's interesting. They had teams that overachieved. That's fine. Portland overachieved. I'll give you that. And the reason why we haven't even, no one's even set up, we haven't finished the regular season yet. We haven't even set up the playoff matchups yet. So how are we going to preview the playoffs? We didn't even set up the matchups yet. So, it hasn't even started yet. We'll be there to discuss it, and there's not going to be a whole lot of drama in the first round. I think the first round is going to be kind of ho-hum all the way down the line. Not going to be a lot of thrills and chills, and the East down the way you're going to get a lot of thrills and chills anyway. To be honest with you, and the first round is not going to be that exciting. But tonight, listen, I understand Golden State's going to make history tonight. They are, but I can't make a big deal about the game when Golden State's an 18.5-point favorite against a Memphis team that doesn't have any players. Here's a very relieved Mr. Met.